So I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Aye. Against? Thank you. Carried. So now we move while you're in the hot seat. Are you? Yep. We'll go on to the next one, which is immediate odour risk reduction.
Kia ora koutou, councillors. It's me again. Look, this is just, I'm just going to do a really brief summary. This report is an information report on the work that is being done in and feedback post the report that came to you in June. We said we would report back at this meeting. We have updated in the report further operational improvements that are being undertaken. We can confirm that the use of the compost at the wastewater treatment plant has been ceased as of the end of June. So we are no longer taking that to the plant. The report also discusses some of the changes that are being proposed down there, including the purchase of a second screen, some of the work we're looking at as to how we manage the tailings and the fines on site, acknowledging that the potential for odour risk is highest when we have stored material on site. So we are looking to minimise the amount of stored material on site. And it also acknowledges this report that we will report back, staff will report back in December in a complete report where you will get options for a decision on the permanent solution, the interim measures that we need to take, or the temporary measures that we need to take to address the time gap between that being operational and now, and also any support or relief measures that could be undertaken at that time for the affected community at that time.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions? Yanni, please.
Thanks. If we're non-compliant, then why do we need to consult on options under 5.4, like 5.43? Like, why do we have to consult, given that we're non-compliant? Wouldn't we have a duty to meet compliance obligations?
We do have a duty to meet. There has been a resolution by you as council to ask us to go to consult on options that impact the wider community, and they impact the wider community in terms of cost and environmental impacts, and therefore that's why we're taking it out to consult. That's our obligations under the Local Government Act.
So, sorry, can I just be clear? So we have to consult because of the cost associated with being compliant.
This report is an information report about the interim about the work that is being done to maintain compliance down at the plant. We are collecting curbside organics. They have to be processed somewhere. The options to process them somewhere else or to do something else with them need to be consulted on as a requirement of the Local Government Act. Hence, you've asked us to do that.
And can I just check under 5.4, like obviously the 5.43 seems the most sensible option in terms of reducing the risk and reducing the odour. So in terms of when we consult, will we have clarity around who will cover the cost of that, of those options? Like obviously in 4.6 you've talked about Living Earth financing the immediate actions, but I'm just trying to understand for when we go up to consultation, given that we're asking people around the cost, will we get clarity around who's bearing the cost, whether it's the private company that we contract or whether it's the public?
Yes, the consultation material will provide clarity in the costs, and that we will be asking our communities to feed back on the cost implications for council.
Okay, thank you very much. So with that, I will, any debate? Didn't think so. I'll put that motion. So yes?
The mover and seconder.
Oh, yes, I moved it and Sam seconded it.
Thank you.
Yeah, looks so.
I think we should quickly thank the staff for the incredible amount of work you put into this, because I know that Phil and I particularly have been working really hard with other members to get this escalated and speeded up. And so this, the previous resolution and these mitigations should help the situation out there and enable us to actually find some resolution for them earlier rather than later.
And one thing I might add to what Pauline said about consultation, it's all very well Pauline and I jumping up and down and say we want consultation, hurry up, hurry up. It wasn't until just the other day that I realised how many things are out for consultation as Katie's not here, but there's a lot. Like the consultation team just isn't sitting around drinking cups of tea. They're flat out. So, Yanni, did you have a thing before I put this?
Are we debate? Yeah. I too want to thank staff for the work that they're doing. I think, what's reassuring from the previous report and from this report is that this council is now taking the concerns of the local communities seriously, and we're looking to find solutions to address a problem that has been ongoing for over a decade. I think it's really important that we continue to get these regular updates from staff over what's being done and the details with which, in terms of things that can be done in the interim, is incredibly important to share with the community. There is a community liaison group meeting in 2 weeks, and I'm optimistic that hopefully we can have some discussion around other things that we can do to support that local community. This local community has been through hell and back with the wastewater fire treatment and the organics plant, and I think it's more than appropriate that we consider what we can do to help fix that and redress. I think, again, just to kind of reiterate that although looking at the individual support is incredibly important, I think as a council we also need to think about the more global approach to this part of the city in terms of coming up with an action plan to do positive things around the environment given how much damage has occurred. So I welcome the opportunity in the future to have those discussions around an improvement plan in that community to start to address some of the long-standing harm that's been caused by the way in which this plant has operated and being non-compliant. Thank you.
Thank you, Yanni. That's very good. With that, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Against? Thank you. Carried. So item 12, Northern Corridor